guys, welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about 5 things that I love about my Mustang EcoBoost. Right here I have a 2019 Mustang EcoBoost 10-speed auto. This one is a base 101A upgrade package. So before I get into the video, I just want to show you a quick little walk around in my car here. This is Velocity Blue, which was a new color for 2019. I really like this color. I did add a aftermarket spoiler on it. Some people might think it looks cheesy, but I think it looks nice. And this one does have active exhaust, which is why you see the quad tips. Starting for number 1 is the styling. So I love the way that the Mustang looks, because even if you get a base one, it might not look as aggressive as a GT, but it still looks really nice. So I really love the styling both inside and out. The sun started to come out, see a little bit of the color there. So I really like the styling. And I'll hop inside real quick and show you guys what the inside looks like. Just a base interior. You can see it has the cloth seats. Does need to be a little bit vacuumed right now, but I generally keep it pretty clean. Like, this is generally like as dirty as it gets. I keep it pretty clean. I really like the way everything is laid out. All right guys, for the last 4, we're gonna do a POV drive. But since I was talking about the styling, I just wanted to show you guys the outside. And I do have a cheat sheet, I will admit that, just so I don't lose my train of thought. So number 2, that would be the bang for your buck or value proposition that comes with the Mustang EcoBoost. And the GT too, to be honest, but Mustang EcoBoost especially, because a lot of times people will get an EcoBoost because they can't afford a GT. So for the money, you get an excellent car, because you get 300 horsepower, you get rear wheel drive, you get a 0 to 60 in the really low 5s, the cool like classic styling, you know, still a Mustang, so it's kind of like a special car. You get a lot of luxury, considering, like, for example, the inside here, this one does have the 101A upgrade package, which is why I have the big screen. You get a lot of luxury and value for the dollar. Leather wheel, because a lot of cars that I was like comparing this to, like in the same price point, like I was looking at a Civic Si, I was looking at a Camaro 2.0, or not 2.0, Camaro 3.6 V6, and then the Challenger. Challenger was kind of already out because of the V6, and the Challenger V6 doesn't have the performance that the Camaro and Mustang get. Camaro's a really good value too, but we're not talking about the Camaro right now. We're just talking about the Mustang. So you get LED headlights all in the front, LED in the back. Those are all stuff that comes on higher end cars. And I'm well aware that you can get LEDs on like a Corolla or something like that, but it's still really nice to get a affordable car that has the performance and still has quite a bit of luxury when you think about it. Let me negotiate this real quick. Everything looks good. We'll do a little acceleration, nothing crazy. That was like a third of the throttle. So yeah, that's another point that we'll get to in a second, which is number 3, which is the driving dynamics. So even though this is a base EcoBoost, it still drives fantastic. The brakes are good, although I wish that they had a little bit more bite when you first press onto them. But the brakes are good. Obviously, like I talked about before, 300 horsepower, so it's plenty powerful enough, especially if you're like a young person wanting to get into an EcoBoost like me. It has a really quick shifting transmission if you get the 10-speed. So this is a really impressive transmission when you're going like all out, because it shifts really quick. When you're driving around town, it can be a little jerky and quirky at times, which does get on my nerves from time to time. Another thing is the handling. So this car handles really well. Felt like it was on rails, and it still feels really good now. I mean, handles fantastic. You know, it's not front heavy like Challengers and stuff like that. Ooh, a Focus RS. He probably wants to play some games. He definitely wants to play some games. Okay, hold on, I gotta focus on this for a second. So every time I see someone playing games on the street, I gotta go, let's see, what do I do? Oh yeah, I put it in S for here because I don't want to mess around with all the other stuff. And then I put the exhaust in track mode, so then I can make some noise. So let's see what's going on. Oh, and turn off traction control, because who needs that? Let's see if this Focus RS wants to do some stuff. There's a lot of traffic. And if you guys don't want to see this part, you can just skip ahead till when I continue talking about the 5 things. But I think this kind of adds to the fun of, you know, just driving around and talking about the car, basically. So let's see what's going on with this guy. I can hear his exhaust up there. Ah, darn, he's getting over there. Ah, darn it. I don't want to get behind the truck with the trailer on it. Well, guess we're going to embarrass ourselves and get right back over. Okay, since we're sitting at the light now, let's continue. So, the gas mileage. When you buy a sports car, you generally don't think about gas mileage as much as you do performance and everything else. But I've been doing a lot of Mexico runs, which if you guys are here for EcoBoost content, I have some Mexico stuff coming in the future. So stay tuned for that stuff. So I've been getting 22.7, which is really bad. I normally don't get that bad, but like I said, that's because of Mexico stuff. But let's go ahead and go down to, well, this trip has been reset for 2,000 miles. I think this one I did when I got the Pro Tune. So 24.9 so far, which isn't bad because now that I think about it, I do kind of drive this car hard. And then MPG 24.7. But when I was driving it soft, you can easily get, you know, 26, 27. And if you're on the highway, like for a long period of time, and you're in top gear and everything, you can get up to like 30, like above 30 MPG on the highway. So it's very fuel efficient for the performance you get. And mine is tuned too, so keep that in mind. I have a Pro Tune and an intercooler, and I still get decent gas mileage. But obviously I like to step on it every now and then, so it goes down drastically when I do that. But remember, EcoBoost, that's why the running joke is Eco or Boost. You don't get both. So you choose, do you want to drive Eco or do you want to drive Boost? I choose Boost. So coming up for number 5, that is the comfort and livability of a Mustang. Not just EcoBoost, all Mustangs in general, to be honest. The interior is so comfortable, everything fits just right. The visibility is not bad considering it's a sports car. It's very easy to drive, very easy to park. And like I said, going with the livability, like the gas mileage, like I mentioned earlier, the seats are extremely comfortable. The leather ones are comfortable too, but these cloth ones are super cozy. In Vegas, it gets really, really hot. So if I had leather seats and I got in after the sun has been shining on the car, I might have a 7th degree burn. Cloth has been working fine for me so far, and held up really nicely actually. But another thing is that, like, everywhere you rest your arm, it's soft over here, it's soft in the center console area, the steering wheel is soft and comfortable, easy to hold on to. So it's just a really comfortable car. And another thing is the ride. You think, oh, a sports car, it's gonna ride like garbage. It actually rides pretty smooth. You might think that I'm done with 5, but I want to include a bonus one for 6, and that is the aftermarket support and the customization, the tunability. So much stuff you can do with Mustangs. That's why when you see people like on YouTube and stuff and they buy a new Mustang GT or something, for example, they say this is a clean slate of a car, because it really is. You can do pretty much anything to Mustangs. They have stuff they have little like cup holder inserts, they have new trim pieces you can put in here. There's so many different customization things you can do with Mustangs, which makes it such a fantastic car for people that are getting into the cars or people that like to modify their cars. You can do anything with Mustangs. Specifically for the EcoBoost, you can...
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
Okay, we're gonna watch out for the vehicle. You can do a tune and an intercooler like I did, and sit roughly, I mean, depending on, you know, your octane. Like I can only get 91 octane, and it's hot in Vegas most of the time, but there's the vehicle, so Waze knew what it was talking about. You can get 300 wheel horsepower with just a tune only. And I've always said, this might sound crazy to some people, you might think I'm blowing smoke, but I think that the EcoBoost from the factory does not make 310 horsepower. I think it realistically makes like 285, because I've driven in cars with 300 horsepower and around the same weight as this, and they feel quicker to an extent. So I feel like the EcoBoost makes around like 285, and every time they dyno them, they never dyno that high. But if you do a tune and an intercooler, you can set around 300 wheel horsepower, which is about 340 horsepower to the crank. We have a Challenger. I wonder if he wants to play some games. It's a 6-cylinder, so that's going to be easy, but we can see what we got here. He probably thinks I'm silly. Let's see what he does. I'm just using all that low end and mid-range torque, which is really impressive about the EcoBoost engines. There's so much low end and mid-range. Like it is freight training right now, and I'm just doing half throttles. Okay, yeah, Challenger wants nothing to do with me, but that's completely fine. Yeah, you'll be roughly at 340 crank horsepower if you do a good professional tune and like you have an intercooler. So just simple stuff, and your car will be really quick. Like for example, I have a Maserati Mexico video coming out in the near future. I don't know when, because I'm doing car reviews too, but it'll be eventually. So you guys will get to see how my car does against a modern day Maserati Ghibli S. And I was impressed with the EcoBoost, needless to say. I'm just gonna let the results speak for themselves if and when you guys see that video. So that about sums it up, basically. So just a quick recap for you guys: the styling, the driving dynamics, and you know how it feels and performance, all that good stuff. The bang for your buck, the value proposition with the EcoBoost Mustang, the gas mileage, the comfort and daily drivability, if that makes sense, and then also the aftermarket support with the upgrades. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more POV driving. If you guys are done with the video at this point, I'll see you guys in the next one. But if not, stick around for some more POV driving. Maybe I'll eventually make an actual POV drive like video of this car with like no talking or little to no talking, so you can just see what the car is like to drive around in. Look at all that low end torque. Had exhaust and track, of course. Oh, which reminds me, I want to make a comprehensive active exhaust EcoBoost video, because my car is completely stock as far as like the exhaust is concerned. No catless downpipe, no mid pipes, no axle, none of that stuff. It is completely stock, and it's actually pretty loud considering it's just a EcoBoost. Now I'm done with this. I can put this sheet away. This is why my gas mileage is bad. And I need some gas too, so we're gonna go to Costco. Slip over some lanes, there we go. By the way, I'm a pretty safe driver. I know it looks like I'm driving crazy, but I pay close attention to what's going on, I think. I hope you guys enjoy my little video going over the 5 or 6 things that I love about my Mustang EcoBoost. There's a lot more, but those are just kind of like the highlights. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe. Stay tuned for future Mexico content with the EcoBoost and some other exhaust clips and stuff like that. And I will see you guys in the next one.